Rico, that's how I do it. Okay, and what's your name?
Oh,
And what's your name? Let's get it done and over with. Okay.
I'm overtired. You can't.
Let's see how it goes. So, what is an anarchist?
There's many different definitions of anarchism. Oh my God, you got that really close.
All right. Educate me.
I guess some people would call it a political movement. However, there's also a sort of spiritual element to it as well. I think it's just sort of an attitude of hostility, I guess, in the face of authority, representation in art movements, aesthetics.
Like what? You don't recognize judges, or?
It's not so much that it's not about recognition, and not so much about issuing demands. It sort of gets misinterpreted a lot as a sort of activist-oriented perspective, but it's actually. It's just a sort of general attitude that you hold to be sort of suspicious of authority in general.
Such as, okay, so what would be a better world? What was some issues?
I guess a lot of the anarchists they tend to be more negatively defined. They don't really focus too much on a positive program.
Are you trying to say that I'm an anarchist?
There you go. This is actually what a lot of anarchists have said. They said, our ideas are in everybody's mind. This is a common quote that a lot of anarchists have said. But a lot of people are sort of, they don't realize that they have this sort of anarchistic attitude within them because they've never defined them politically or religiously as anarchistic or anarchist. So a lot of times what you realize is that the most anarchistic of whatever social group tend to be the people that don't even define themselves as anarchists, and conversely the people who identify quite dogmatically with the anarchist ideology, this is anarchism, they outline our points of unity, our basic, this is our program, this is what we want to see the world. These are the people I think that come that haven't sort of read the literature, they don't understand the tradition of anarchism, they don't understand the history of the movement. They tend to romanticize a certain period, the mid-1930s of anarcho-syndicalism in Spain, sort of fighting fascism, and they just try and relive this old, ancient sort of practice, but that's not necessarily what anarchism is.
So we have an anarchist government in New Brunswick. What would be the benefit?
Well, again, that's a sort of positive conception. There wouldn't be such thing as a positive sort of anarchist state. It's more a sort of critique that's laid against existing social forms, including this government or that government.
How do you get along?
How do you get again? That would be a sort of positive thing. But I mean, the traditional sort of method of organizing anarchist groups, at least the political element of the movement, would be what's called affinity groups, or collectives is the more formal sort of term. And what this consists of is basically 5 to 7 people who get together. They form extreme feelings of trust, empathy with each other. You would sacrifice yourself to these people. It's very much like a gang in a lot of ways.
Religious?
I think there is a religious element to it.
They believe in God? Or?
There is Christian anarchism, and a friend of mine working at Queen's University is actually, he's working on his PhD thesis on Islamic anarchism, Muslim sort of anarchism, and it's extremely interesting. There's actually quite a few people working in that area. I think it's a sort of basic contradiction that you have to work with. You're sort of deconstructing the traditional text, and it becomes very difficult to sort of hold that anarchist sort of attitude intact when you're dealing with something that's very explicitly, this is, because God is, a notion of a God as a higher authority sort of thing. So there's a sort of paradox there, but some people make it work for them, so,
Got 20 seconds. Is there a lot of anarchists here in Canada?
A lot of people are unaware. There's a lot of anarchists, and You'd be surprised. A lot of the anarchists are not very explicit. So you'll find anarchists actually in all levels of government. It's a sort of, I mean, you'll find them also in the streets, you know, breaking windows and whatever else is the media clip. You're counting down 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, we're gonna have a part 2 again later.
Okay.
Thank you very much.